When we think about our relationships, we often land on compromise as the ultimate goal, right? But what if there's a way to go so much deeper than that? Today, we're going to explore three really powerful habits for what you could call public success. And this is important, to even get there, we have to remember they're all built on a private foundation, being proactive, knowing where you're going, and getting your own act together first. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the foundational mindset, getting everyone on the same page. Then we'll get into the essential skill of really truly listening. After that, we'll see the incredible results that pop up when you combine them. And finally, we'll wrap up with a powerful challenge so you can start putting these ideas to work in your own life. All right, first up, the win-win mindset. And look, this isn't just some nice sounding strategy. It's a total shift in how we approach our interactions. It's about moving from a me versus you mentality to an us versus the problem mentality. A win-win approach. It's not about being soft. It's about being smart. It means you stop arguing about the surface level stuff and you dig deeper to find out what people really want and need. When you do that, whole new creative and frankly better solutions just open up. And this isn't just a vague concept. It's a very practical process. The secret, though, is the sequence. You have to start with empathy. Really try to see it from their side. Then you figure out the core issues. Then you define what success looks like for everyone involved. And only then do you start brainstorming solutions. See, most people jump straight to brainstorming, and that's exactly why they fail. Oh, this is so important. A real win-win solution takes two things. It takes the courage to speak up for your own needs, to be clear about what you want. But it also takes genuine consideration to understand and respect what the other person needs. It's that beautiful blend of the two that makes it all work. So, if win-win is the goal, how in the world do we get there? Well, that brings us right to our second habit, seeking first to understand. This is the skill, the actual method that makes a win-win outcome even possible. This really just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Listening to influence someone isn't about learning a trick or some slick technique to get your way. No, it has to flow from your character, from your integrity, your sincerity, and your genuine, authentic desire to just understand another person. The core skill here is something called reflective listening. It's about listening with more than just your ears. You listen with your eyes and your heart. You're trying to hear the feeling behind the words, and then you reflect that back. You show them that you don't just hear the words, you actually get it. And every single time you do this, it's like making a deposit in what you could call an emotional bank account. Think about how we usually try to persuade people. We jump straight to logic, right? Straight to logos. We just throw facts at them. But real lasting influence follows a sequence. It has to start with ethos, your personal credibility, your character. Then comes pathos, that empathic connection you build. It's only after people trust you and feel understood that they'll even be open to hearing your logic. So, what happens when you take a win-win mindset and you combine it with the skill of seeking first to understand? You unlock something truly incredible. You unlock synergy. And this is where the real magic happens. Synergy is basically where 1 + 1 = 3, or 10, or even 100. It's this amazing idea that when we really collaborate, we don't just have to settle for a compromise. We can actually create a third, better alternative, something that was totally impossible before we came together. This is an absolute game changer. I mean, most of us see differences as a problem, a source of conflict. But in a synergistic relationship, differences in opinion, different perspectives, those are seen as a huge advantage. They are the raw material for creating something new and better. It's about unity, not uniformity. Think about any problem you're stuck on right now. There are forces pushing you forward, and there are these restraining forces holding you back. Synergy creates this new kind of positive energy that helps you just blast through those restraining forces, breaking old patterns and finding a totally new path forward, together. So the crucial point here is that synergy doesn't just happen by accident. It's not luck. It is the direct, logical result of applying the two habits we've just been talking about. You absolutely have to have that win-win mindset and the skill of deep, empathic listening to unlock it. All right, so we've covered the mindset, we've covered the method, and we've covered the incredible outcome. Now, let's get practical. Let's make this real and talk about how you can start applying these ideas in your own life, like today. Okay, first, think about your most important relationships, using that emotional bank account idea, where trust is the currency. For 3 key people in your life,
Is the balance high or low right now? And what's just one small deposit, one simple act of kindness or understanding you could make this week to build up that trust?
Now let's have a moment of honest reflection here. What's actually stopping you from going for win-win more often? Is it an old habit of competing, a lack of trust, or maybe it just feels like it takes too much time and energy? Just identifying that barrier, that's the first step to tearing it down. Now, think of someone who sees the world completely differently than you do. Instead of seeing that as a point of friction, try to reframe it. What unique perspective do they have? If you truly, genuinely listen to understand them, what kind of amazing third alternative might you create together? That right there, that's the potential for synergy. Okay, and let's end with one last kind of provocative question. Think of two people who just really irritate you. I know, we all have them. Now ask yourself, is it possible, just possible, that they could add incredible value if you applied synergy? Could their different way of seeing things actually be a strength? It's a challenging thought, but it's where the biggest growth happens.